Are you ready to learn a bunch of amazing facts about Jujutsu Kaisen that you probably didn't know? Of course you are. Let's get started. The creator of Jujutsu Kaisen goes by the name 𝐷𝐵𝐴𝗚𝗄, but that's probably not his real name. His gender is also unknown, but it's believed that he is male. According to the author of Jujutsu Kaisen, the king of all curses, 𝐕𝐢𝐝𝐻 Sukuna, never had a wife or children. Gojo can cast domain expansion multiple times a day, while others are limited to only once a day. So far, there are only 4 Jujutsu users who are on a special level. They are Goju Satoru, Suguru Geto, Yuta Okkotsu, and Tsukumo Yuki. Yuji was superhuman even before obtaining cursed energy. He was nicknamed the Tiger of West Junior High for his strength and stamina. His superhuman strength has been known to let him destroy walls, bend goalposts, and at some point even throw a car. As far as speed is concerned, he was able to run a 50-meter race in 3 seconds, absolutely destroying the competition. The Zenin clan family home is derived from an architectural museum in Tokyo called Kodakarayu. Gojo is a huge fan of Gundam. He has a collection of these models too. At a young age, Toji would get thrown into a group of cursed spirits. The scar on his lip is a result of that. Akutami deliberately changed the hairstyle of Yuta Okkotsu and Inumaki Toge so they wouldn't look alike with Megumi and Yuji. The eye within Goju's domain expansion is that of a black hole, or at the least resembles a black hole. Like in most anime, the characters in Jujutsu Kaisen are primarily Japanese. However, there are a few characters who are both Japanese and something else. Kento Nanami's grandfather is Danish, making him 1/4 Danish and 3/4 Japanese. Momo Nishimiya's mother is Japanese, while her father is American, making her half Japanese and half American. Suguru Geto's character is inspired by Shinobu Sensui from Yu Yu Hakusho. Both of them were on the good side once and then became evil. Ever since Goju was born, cursed spirits and cursed users hid in the shadows due to Goju possessing both the 6 eyes and the limitless curse technique, making him literally impossible to defeat. Gojo's 6 eyes, also known as Rikugan, reduce Gojo's cursed energy consumption, allowing him to never run out of cursed energy. Mahito likes Perry the Platypus from the animated series Phineas and Ferb. That's why he made Junpei like that. A lot of people compare Goju to Kakashi from Naruto, but there's one area in which they're complete opposites. While Kakashi can't stand sweet food, Gojo loves it. At first, he started consuming more sugar to boost his brain power, but he ended up getting obsessed with all sweet things. There are 2 light novels released before the anime version, Soaring Summer and Returning Autumn, and The Path of Roses at Dawn. Kento Nanami is one of the most responsible and kind-hearted characters in the series, but he might not have been that way if Akutami had stuck to his original idea. Nanami was originally planned to be a villain. What his role would have been is not really clear, but he certainly would have been different from the Nanami we know today. Megumi's birthday is on December 22nd, Yuji's is on March 20th, and Nobara's is on August 7th. Akutami once tried drawing Noritoshi to look like a Japanese comedian, gorgeous, but most people who saw the drawing thought that he looked like a member of KISS instead. This was revealed in Noritoshi's profile in the manga. Unfortunately, the drawing itself was not included. Because his heavenly restriction keeps him from going outside, Muta uses Mekamaru as a proxy. While the name Mekamaru seems like a fairly straightforward choice, it has a specific origin. It's from the anime that Muta enjoys. One of the more unsettling elements of Jujutsu Kaisen is the fact that Itadori literally swallows Sukuna's fingers. While Itadori makes it pretty clear that he finds the fingers disgusting, he doesn't describe what they taste like, but in a fan book Q&A, Akutami said that they tasted like soap. Still gross, but not quite what we were expecting. Masamichi Yaga was Goju's teacher when Goju was young. Akutami had planned to kill Yuji after Sukuna ripped out his heart in the cursed wound mark in the manga. Later, he decided to change his mind since the manga was doing very well in Shonen Jump. The show doesn't spend a lot of time focusing on Megumi's relationship with his Shikigami, but it turns out that he does care a lot about them. Whenever they're destroyed, he gets super upset about it. In fact, losing his Shikigami impacts him more deeply than losing a person would. When he was in high school, Goju was a big fan of Digimon. He still seems to be into it now, since he occasionally references it in the manga. Incidentally, both Goju sub and dub voice actors Yuichi Nakamura and Kaiji Tang have played Digimon characters before. When Goju was a teenager, he could never perform the cursed technique Reversal Red, not until he learned to generate true positive energy. My Hero Academia's author, Kohei Horikoshi, is a known fan of Jujutsu Kaisen and a personal friend of Akutami. The 2 creators have done a lot together and have even created crossover art. Apparently, Horikoshi's favorite JJK character is Mahito, a villainous cursed spirit. Nobara loves shopping, but ever since she came to the city, she didn't have any free time to do so. Did you ever wonder what would happen if Yuji ate a death painting? You probably didn't, but we're still going to answer it. If he ate one instead of eating Sukuna's finger, Yuji would be able to override the consciousness of the cursed womb and would be able to use its cursed energy. Megumi keeps track of local news, but he rarely, if ever, believes what it says. Junpei's story was one of the saddest things about Jujutsu Kaisen, especially in the anime, which included a few original scenes that helped round out his character. Nobara's reddish-brown hair looks great on her, but it isn't her natural color. Without hair dye, she'd have dark brown hair. Yuji's name comes from one of Akutami's former classmates. It's not clear whether this has any meaning or if Akutami simply liked the name. His surname, Itadori, is a type of medicinal plant that's also known as Japanese knotweed. It can be used as a pain reliever or as a vitamin-rich food. In this scene, you probably noticed that Hanami's voice doesn't exactly sound normal. This effect was achieved by having Hanami's voice actor speak the lines in Japanese. The lines were then played in reverse. Todo might not seem like the type of guy who cares that much about personal hygiene, but he makes sure to shower, use deodorant, and otherwise keep his grooming on point. Yuji has a strong resistance to poison. We are first introduced to this when he fights Junpei and resisting Moondrake's poison. It's possible that he developed this as a result of eating Sukuna's fingers, since Sukuna was known as the king of poisons, as he had absolute mastery over them. Jujutsu Kaisen anime was a huge success. However, when the manga was first released in 2018, it didn't attract much of an audience. 600,000 copies at the peak isn't bad, but it was definitely less than it deserved. As soon as people started realizing the potential of the manga, things went crazy. Hence, in just a year, the sales went up more than 400%. Yuta was originally supposed to be a main character on the show, but Akutami decided that it would be Itadori instead. Jujutsu Kaisen won the Best Shonen Anime Award in 2021. Megumi is thought to be a student with the highest potential, even higher than Itadori's. The literal translation of Jujutsu Kaisen is sorcery fight. Akutami already has the series ending all planned out, even though the manga has still a long way to go. Kento Nanami is the most professional jujutsu sorcerer in the series. The reason behind this is that he was originally an office worker before he quit his job. After quitting, he still adores the same discipline in his life, and as you all know, he hates working overtime. When Goju first explains the ancient threat of Ryomen Sukuna, he makes it clear that Sukuna once ruled over the world of Jujutsu with 4 fists. Despite the fact that Sukuna's 20 fingers are pivotal to the plot of Jujutsu Kaisen, it's still unclear how or why the ancient sorcerer had 4 arms in the first place. Jujutsu Kaisen manga sold more than 55 million copies worldwide and is expected to end in approximately 2 years. Most of the locations shown in the first opening are real-life locations in Japan. In order to avoid unwanted effects from his cursed speech, Toge has to speak in rice ball toppings instead of actual words. But he's not just speaking randomly. His words have meaning. He uses shaki, which translates to salmon, as an affirmation. Negation is okaka, which translates to fish flakes. Konbu, or kelp, is a greeting. Those are the only 3 with meanings. The rest are complete nonsense. Click on this video to see all the things you missed in Demon Slayer.